Hello and welcome to the story, Pilgrim. Episode 43, Paris, Graceful Expectations. Now, Paris is a city that I have never visited. I know it's so close to England and yet it's always escaped me. There's always so many other places to visit, isn't there? But I finally get to go there. Now, before we dive in, please, the usual subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're listening to me on a podcast, please make sure that you are following it. That would really be greatly appreciated. Now, Paris, I'd always said that I would go there with someone special, a partner, a friend, someone to share the experience with. But I have arrived on my own. Not on a holiday, not for romance, but for work. And walking these streets for the first time, with their weight of beauty and story, I found myself carrying something else that I didn't expect. Something that I needed to process. So, this is another episode of a walk through Paris and through something else entirely. Hello and good morning from Paris, the city of light, the city of love. Now, I have always said that I will only come to Paris with someone special. And here I am on my own. I guess I am special, aren't I? Sorry about that. But I find myself here on a work trip, so I thought we should go for a walk. Now, I've got a lot to talk about today because I had a lot going on this last week, and there is a lot going on that I just woke up to. There is a huge fire in Hayes, right by Heathrow Airport, that has cut out the power to Heathrow Airport, and Heathrow Airport, this is March the 21st, 2025, is officially closed all day today, so no flights are going in or going out of Heathrow, and that means that I'm supposed to be going back to Heathrow this afternoon the flight is at like 3:45, and then I'm supposed to do it there and back to Geneva. So my roster hasn't changed at the moment. Not getting much comms from British Airways because they're probably going, we don't know what the heck we're doing. So it's going to be an interesting day on that front. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, really. Also, let's talk about Paris for a minute, shall we? What do you want to know? City of Light. Some people think that's because of the nice illuminations of the lights, but that's kind of not the reason why it got the title of the City of Enlightenment in the mid-17th. I can't speak, it's too early. 17th century, when it became like a centre for scientific experiments, scientific, advancement and philosophy. So that's where it gets that from. Has some of the most expensive restaurants in the world here. We all know, do you all know? There's me assuming again about the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower, 1887. Back in those days, not a lot of people were very happy about it. Apparently, the majority of the artists in the city thought that it would be a blot on the landscape, and they didn't want it to be built. There's that. What else? Huge underground tunnel network here that is just sort of like down there doing its tunnel stuff. Doesn't really the Napoli, it doesn't really, you can, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you'll probably take a tour down there somewhere. What else have I got to say? The Louvre, the most popular museum in the world, probably because of the Mona Lisa. Everybody goes to see that. Probably won't be going there today. We'll see. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of bins. But yeah, oh, that's big, isn't it? That's a fancy BMW bike. Yeah. So in Paris, I'm gonna go for a walk. I've had a week. I'll tell you about that in a bit. But the weather is nice. Anything else to say about Paris? Obviously, had the last Olympics here. I thought it was a bit of a letdown, really. Do you remember watching that opening ceremony? And there was that person. Was it like an angel on a horse riding along the Seine? Which you thought, that is really cool. It's really good. I think I'm going down here. Really, really good. And it just went on for like 20 minutes and it got really boring. Anyway, let's discover Paris. Oh, and I don't speak any French. I'm really ignorant and really bad when it comes to that. So let's see what we got. Look at that church there and all them bells. Shall we go in? Come on, let's go and have a look. I might get told off. I have a feeling I'm going to get told off a lot today. But you never know. That's what life's all about, isn't it? Let's have a look. Okay. Did you know, as part of the French Revolution, there was a law in place that banned women from wearing pants? It wasn't repealed until 2013. Not so much freedom in that, is there? So, a couple of observations already. It's very noisy, but also there are no stop signs in Paris. It's just basically right away. The last stop sign was taken out in 2016. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Now, what do you see up there? Do you spot that thing right up in the middle there? It is the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know why that's not. I shouldn't do that, should I? Yeah, I'm already liking it. I'm already liking Paris. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so disappointing," but I mean, I've only been walking around a bit. But it's exactly what I thought it would be. Rubbish everywhere. No, it's not. It's lots of nice little patisseries and cafes, and with really good looking sandwiches and pastries that I haven't partaken of yet, but I will. But can you see there in front of me, I'm walking up to one of the more prominent landmarks in Paris, the Arc de Triomphe. You may remember from my Bucharest trip episode, they had a little Arc de Triomphe there, and that was little. This one's huge! It's massive! I love that fact about ladies and pants. Trousers, can you believe it? Not until the 31st of January 2013 was that repealed. Before, a lady was supposed to gain permission from a policeman, I say policeman, a police officer, to wear pants. Now, Paris is full of iconic things, buildings, and here I am at one of them. So, behind me there, you can see the Arc de Triomphe. It's massive. It's huge. It's 50 metres high, 45 metres wide. It stands in the middle of these 12 avenues that run into it. It was commissioned in 1805 or 1806, somewhere around about there, by Napoleon I, who just had a nice battle, the Battle of, is it Austerlitz? And he's like, oh, we need to celebrate that. That's really cool. So they started it, and they took a long time, basically. Let me step back to see it. Oh, look, it's massive, isn't it? So yeah, they started it, but they didn't get very far. Then in 1823, was it Louis the 18th? Is that a thing? Oh, look at that. Can you see that in there? Look at that right there. That is the Eiffel Tower. I'm be doing really silly, stupid accents all day, I think. Louis the 18th went, hang on a minute, we've just beaten the French. Not the French, we are the French. We've just beaten the Spanish. Let's get this thing finished. And they finished it about another... it took them about 30 years to build it. But it's really impressive. There's lots of things on there, you know. It's a memorial to killing people. You can see there's lots of killing going on it. Maybe that's not so good. Anyway, it's really impressive. The one in Bucharest, well done, but you got to do this one. And apparently this is just a really nightmare of a road to get on and off. You can just see people are just like getting stuck on it. How am I supposed to get over there? I don't know. Did you just walk over? I'm sure there's probably crossroads anyway. Anyway, that is the Arc de Triomphe. Apparently you can go in it and go up it. I don't see anybody walking around the top. But maybe it's too early. Maybe they haven't gone up yet. Oh yeah, people are just walking across the road. Shall we go over? I don't know, I might die! So, as I walk around Paris today, I kind of want to... it's been an interesting week, let's put it that way. This is kind of like a walk of disappointment for me around Paris. Disappointment that I'm not going to get run over. That's not disappointing, is it? Albert Camus, is that how you say it? Camus, said that in the depth of winter, I finally found that inside I had an invincible summer, which is quite a lovely little quote, really. As I wander around and I'm looking at the Arc de Triomphe, a symbol of triumph. Oh, we've got a little argument going on here between he was like waving his hands around. Oh look, he's not happy. Oh, they're not happy. Who is triumphal in that? We know who the winner is there, don't we? Humility, yes. What's it talking about? Oh yeah, no. Walking there, there's a symbol of triumph, and I had a really weird, triumphal and yet absolutely devastating week. I had an audition earlier this week where, when I started acting 25 years ago, my goal, one of my things that I wanted to be able to achieve, was to play Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. That has kind of changed over the years, but I love that show. It is one of my favourite musicals. The music is amazing. Anyway, I had an audition for the world tour of Phantom of the Opera to play one of the managers, not the Phantom, but one of the managers, Monsieur Firmin. So I was so happy just to get asked to do the audition. I was like, that's a win. I've won. It's brilliant. Anything over than that is amazing. So I went in, I prepared, went in, sang my song, had a lovely chat with the producers and the director and everything. And I got a call back, which is amazing. To get a call back is just like, wow, this is brilliant. They sent sides through. They sent 2 songs and a little bit of dialogue. And the one song was really hard, really, really hard. And I had basically 36 hours, let's say, to work on that. And I worked really, really hard. I practiced it, I got it down, I nailed it. And I went into the audition and I fell apart. I literally got like 10 bars in and I just messed it up. And I tried again, I messed it up. I tried again, I messed it up. I tried again, and I messed it up. And they were very gracious, they were very lovely. They said, well, let's go let's do the other song. Did the other song, nailed it. Great. They go, oh, that's great, that's good. Let's redirect you, let's do some other stuff. Sang it again, nailed it, great. Oh, good, let's go back to the first song. Went back, absolutely devastated it, absolutely made a right mess of it. Tried again, tried 3 more times, just couldn't get through it, couldn't even get halfway through it. And they were like, oh, thanks very much, Darren. And I walked out of there and I felt absolutely, and I still do, feel so awful. I wanted that job so bad that I put so much pressure on myself that I just couldn't do it. I did not justify my work that I've done over 25 years to in that moment. I just let it get to me, even after all of that experience, and I totally messed up. And I am so upset about that. So that is weighing heavily on my mind as to, what am I doing? Why does that happen? What is that all about? What is that starling eating? What is that pigeon? Why are there pigeons everywhere? We're not going to go to the Louvre today, but there we have a little thing of... she's smiling, isn't she? She's a bit smiley on that one. Ooh, hey up, saucy. So yeah. Oh, Louis Vuitton. Yeah. Is that Louis Vuitton? I don't know, I'm just saying things. Anyway, it is, yeah, because LV. So I am walking down one of the avenues. Is this the Champs Elysees? Is this it? I think. Nah, this ain't it. Is it? Oh, don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, it is, isn't it? Look, there we go. This is where the look. You can pretend that they're on the Tour de France. Whee! Tour de France comes up here, doesn't it, and finishes here every year. So yeah. Oh God, I do go on, don't I? So a lot of that today. A lot of figuring out what is that. What is that? Why does that happen, and what is it all about? Because you know me, I always think that things happen for a reason. Sometimes I get very upset about the things that happen, and very upset about the reason as well. The ambience of Paris is helping to take my mind off a certain event that happened just a few days before. It is, however, still on the forefront. I can't speak today. I can never really speak, can I? On the forefront of my mind. So I had to let it all out, and here I go. So, sorry. So I'm probably not going to have time today to get down to Notre Dame, but that's interesting in what's going on with me when you think about what's just happened with Notre Dame. Over the last few years, had the huge big fire, and they've spent a lot of money on it, renovating it. Nice hotel, the Four Seasons Hotel, George V, Paris. What am I trying to say? Yeah, Notre Dame. It's reopened. I think they're still working on it, getting it repaired. But it's still there, isn't it? You know, it's still doing its thing. It's still pretty impressive. I'm not saying that I'm impressive in any way whatsoever. But it's wounded. It will have the scars, and probably I'm thinking during that renovation that they made an opportunity to make some parts of it maybe a little bit stronger, a bit of renovation there as well as restoration. I'm sure that has happened. I want to buy a Saab. Elisab. Not a car, Darren. She's a designer. All right, okay. Yeah, so kind of like what's just happened with me. You know, it's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to get run over. But no, it's I have to run away. I've got to walk. Thinking about the moment of humiliation of just not being able to do this song and just totally, and the kindness of the panel kind of does feel, it kind of made it worse in a way, because it was kind of like, oh look, you know, oh, we can't do it, oh, go on, try again, go on, oh no, just try it that way, no, oh no, he still can't do it. I'm sure there's absolutely none of that, but that's what I felt. That's what's going on. And you know, when you're describing something and somebody goes, oh no, I'm sure they weren't thinking that, and you probably are right, but in that moment, it's another big church, look, in that moment you absolutely do feel like that's exactly what they're feeling, and no matter how much you try and convince yourself that no, they're not doing that, they're not feeling that way, you still feel that way, don't you? So here we go, the Episcopal Anglican, consecrated in 1886. It's shut. Well, the door is open, but I don't think, oh look, it's like a little courtyard in there, look. Oh, isn't that nice? Yeah, so won't be heading down to Notre Dame, but kind of like I feel like it. And that's just burnt myself down, burnt to the ground. I'm going to have McDonald's breakfast. That makes everything better. Now you may be mistaken to think that has something to do with the Olympics, but it isn't. It's the Flamme de Liberté. And there's lots of locks around it. We have the famous lock bridge going across the Seine. Not the original lock bridge, but that's another story. Won't talk about that. Just leave that for you to find out yourself. Do your own research. Right, okay, I'm having a right nightmare this morning with just basically getting things right and not getting things right with regards to technical stuff. Anyway, here we are. That's a nice view, isn't it? We've got the Eiffel Tower, the Tower of Eiffel, and the River Seine. Talk about the Seine for a second. France's second longest river. Now, what's the longest? Any answers? Come on, shout it out. No, I can't hear you. Anyway, we'll come to that in a second. 777 kilometres long. That's a nice number, isn't it, of the Seine, draining the Paris basin. Bit of controversy about it, wasn't it? They wanted the Olympic swimmers to swim in that, and they said, oh, it's too dirty. I think they just poured a load of Perrier water into it and went, oh, no, it's okay. France's longest river, the Seine. No, it's not the Seine. That's the Seine. The Rhine. No, it's not. The Rhine's in Germany. Oh, no, it's not. 1,230 odd kilometres long. So the Seine comes in not even a close second. But yeah, there it is. A lovely view there of the Eiffel Tower. And yeah, go for a little wander and see if I can get my head around getting all of this technical stuff right, because I'm not doing very well this morning. I never associated the Rhine with France, and, well, now I know. It was time for me to have a little drink and a bite to eat. Take a little respite. Messy. A little rest in a lovely little cafe that I've just found just around the corner. That's exactly what I wanted. Just thinking about how all that I've been through and how that is just going to make me a little bit stronger. And if I sit in that grief, it doesn't change who I am. It's just a little blip on what's happened, and I'll just have to just
keep on going. The people that support me are still there. The experience that I have is still there. What is inside me is still there. So I think that's what I'm talking about with grace. We talk about grace, we talk about smoothness, also just sort of like the will to just let it happen. Just, okay, this is a thing that's all part of the growing, it's all part of the learning, and letting that sit. But in the meantime, I have my madeleine, I have my croissant, I have my café au lait. I am going to just enjoy that in this lovely little quiet cafe. So if you're in Paris, come to Constant Cafe. It's not far from the Eiffel Tower. It is absolutely, it's just a nice little cafe. They've only been open 6 months. But look at that floor. That's an original tiled floor with the original wall. And I was just talking to the owner, and he says that that cafe, that building, is where the people who built the Eiffel Tower, I mean, probably a lot of them around here, lived in this building here. So this big building here. But there it is, Constant. Come and have a coffee and a croissant. It's really nice. I mean, you're bound to say that, aren't you? I mean, in France, the croissant was great. It was really buttery, and I had the madeleine was lovely as well. And my mum complained about me eating on camera, so I'm going to keep doing that. No, we'll see. You got to respect your mum, haven't you? Anyway, no, it's lovely. But it's just lovely how he says a little window there. You see the little window, and people just walk up to it and have a chat. And they don't buy anything; they're just having a chat, which is really sweet. Okay, so I don't know how much of the Eiffel Tower you can see there, but there's the Eiffel Tower. It built for the 1889 World's Fair. It was a temporary thing, like most things, you know, like London Eye was temporary, wasn't it? But then it turns out to be there. You can you see there the names of this like famous French scientists, mathematicians, written around that there. Gustave Eiffel designed it. He put an apartment up the top there for himself that Thomas Edison was invited there. Hitler had this as one of his top places to destroy during the Second World War. Obviously that didn't get done, did it? And it's painted all different shades of brown. So as you go up, it's all different shades of brown to make it look like it's all the same shade of brown. Does that make sense? Because your perspective and stuff, there's all of that. So quite a cool little thing. The lady there playing her accordion with her two dogs with sunglasses on. They just sat there looking at everybody. It's great. Yeah. So I think I sort of mentioned before now about you get up close to it and it's just nuts and bolts and it's quite brutal. But it's that perspective, isn't it? And my perspective I keep on going about me, but my perspective of what's just happened this last week or so, I'm still all right. I'm going to be better. I'm okay. Heathrow, got fly right in my eye. That happens a lot, doesn't it? It's going to be all right. So Paris, as I was walking around, was not quite what I expected. I really like it. I haven't spent much time here at all, but I do. I really like it. It's very calm. It's lots of nice little cafes. Yeah, and I've heard a story about people saying, "Oh, the French don't like you because if you don't speak French." I've had a good experience, so I will definitely be coming back with someone special, not just myself, even though I am very special. No, it's lovely, and just allowing those missed expectations, allowing grace to take shape, to shape me, and to move me forward just as Paris has done over the years. I mean, France has been through a lot of stuff, hasn't it? As have we all, as has majority of, well, the whole world, basically. Forever changing, forever learning, forever growing. I think that's it, isn't it? Being aware of that, being aware of our situations, and allowing it all to happen is super important.
The Eiffel Tower is impressive. Pretty much from wherever you are in Paris, you are drawn towards it. But Paris is so much more than that one structure.
Not far away from the Eiffel Tower, we have the Trocadero and the Jardin de Trocadero. These lovely little gardens with beautiful wispy willow here and running down this waterfall in this little pond. It's lovely. As that famous French philosopher once said, René Descartes, I think, therefore I am. Although yesterday I thought I'd left the oven on and then I realised I don't own an oven. Not many people know the full quote, but that was the full quote from René. That's it, isn't it? You know, that's the thing that defines us as a human being, is that process, is being able to think. And you know how much I love to think. You know how much I love to overthink. But we also have those moments of, well, I thought I'd done that, but actually I hadn't done that. And then I remembered, yeah, no, I don't even have that. You know, so I don't know what that is. I don't know what I'm going on about. But I do know that I'm here. I do know that I'm okay. I do know that sometimes we get really, really upset about stuff that is in our control, and we'll do better the next time. We learn from it, we grow, we allow that moment to settle, and we move on. I'm in Paris. What would be the capital of Europe? What would you say the capital of Europe was? E. Thinking again about missed expectations, for a very long time I just heard a lot of negativity about Paris, and I think that's why I put it off from coming, because I use the excuse, oh well, you know, I should come here with somebody special because, you know, it's a city of romance and all that type of stuff. But I kind of think I just let those other people's opinions just sort of like sway me and going, yeah, there's plenty of other places to go. It's only a 45-minute flight from London, really close. You can take the train to come here, you can take a bus if you want to, you can drive, and I really like it, I really do. So there we go, there's a missed expectation, isn't it, of my own, that I've allowed other people to make me feel that way. So hang on a minute, that's my stepladder. No, it's your stepladder. He's got the stepladder, he's taking it in. Alright, okay. Yeah, just a thought about that. And stepladders. This is a really good joke.
So, that was Paris. Not the trip that I expected, but most probably the trip that I needed. I came here thinking that I'd walk through the beauty, but I ended up walking through disappointment, frustration, and the complicated mess of when you really want something and it's not quite reached. But maybe that is the secret. You know, like Paris, life doesn't always give you what you expect. It gives you cafes when you need reflection, towers when you need perspective and strange little facts about trousers, just to remind you that you shouldn't take anything really too seriously. And maybe that's enough. So, what are you walking through right now? What weight are you carrying that you didn't plan for? I'd love to hear. Send me a message, comment below, send a pigeon, whatever is working for you. Let's just keep talking. Yeah. And hey, if you have enjoyed walking and listening with me today, then I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe on YouTube, follow me on whatever podcast platform you are listening on. It helps more than you do know. Now, the Story Pilgrim was written, walked, talked, directed, produced, edited by me, Darren Hill. Anya Backer gave us the amazing music on Sean the Harp. For more about myself and the Story Pilgrim, go to www.thestorypilgrim.com. There's a blog on there. Have a read of it and see what you think. You can get in touch with me via that website or find me on all the socials. Until the next time, keep listening and buen camino.